This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
I'm in a bad mood.
And you want help with that?
I don't know why.
Well, I was thinking that this might help. That I thought your lips looked lovely today.
Really?
Yeah, I thought they looked very beautiful.
Almost suspiciously good.
When you do the trim on the
When I get
tush,
the trim.
I think that's really nice for you.
Thank you so much.
They're attractive.
They're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy. It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
What are you drinking there, Killian?
That's a delicious re-raw drink that I am drinking at the moment. It's tasting very nice.
And you tell me, is that a re-raw Irish lager? Brewed in Kilcool, County Wicklow, an Irish brand. Lovely, is it?
I love the green colouring, and also it's so light and fresh, which kind of makes me feel like myself or just a party.
How come your pint glass has a ring pull? I don't think that's normal. Is your belly okay?
It's tasting so good, and you are so right, Tony. It did have a ring pull. That's just a sound effect I'm putting in with my mouth and making. Thank you, Re-Raw, for sponsoring the podcast.
And your continued support. Here's the Young Hot Guys episode.
That's where you
Look, the lips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel you by. And yes, my Turkish barber's not Turkish. She's from Iran. Did a great job. Do you know, I love going into him because he's always playing, and I don't have this channel and I don't watch it, but Rush today, and it's always very relaxing hearing just some absolute anti-American rhetoric, like the most vitriolic, just hatred of America, while he's trimming my beard, and it's just like, oh, you know.
And then he cuts your beard into one of those sort of more Arabic style beards.
He does. Iraq, sorry.
He's from Iraq.
I think so. Although
If you're from Iraq, you'd pretty much hate America.
That's
would.
absolutely fair.
Although a fella I know was just into the Tunisian lad, so I don't know. He could be telling tall tales. He could be like the Joker, being, you want to know how I became a barber? In Tunisia, in Iran, in Iraq, in Turkey. So I'm in a bad. Thank you. That makes me feel better.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Is
Good.
there
Any
anything
good
else
name
we can do? Like,
Something
do you
that-
want to talk about anything? Is
Yeah.
there anything on your mind? This sounds like a pre-set up
Yeah.
piece, but it's not.
It's not.
No, do you know what? No.
Woman troubles?
No, do you know what I found myself?
Imagine he was like, yeah.
Thank God.
Terry's just like, I just feel like we're not connected.
Tony, you're not on the pod.
No.
Yeah. Not here on Podcrail.
No, you're on Podcrail. No, no. Do you know what? I still actually, my tummy's still in rag order from that time, from 2 weeks ago. I had to go to the doctor today, and I was very worried. I was very worried all day because I don't really have lingering things. He said it was fine. Stop fucking freaking out, you know. But
Did he run any bloods?
He's going to be running bloods this week.
I'm getting bloods done on Wednesday. He just said I went in the last time. I went in the last time. They're telling me about this, and he's like, "It's a while since you had your bloods done." And I was like, "Yes." I was like, "I'm really sick. Give me medicine right now." And he was like, "Yeah." It was my first time going to him because my hot doctor left. I tell you that before. I used to have a hot doctor, and he left.
You have a doctor that died.
Years ago, my GP died, but he was just a bit old. But like, so it's a really funny it's a strange person to die in your life because you're like, oh, he's dead, is he? Right.
All my knowledge.
Right.
All
And then
the
you're just like,
knowledge
okay. Well, I don't feel any, to be honest, I don't feel any grief at all, despite knowing this man since birth. I don't.
But he was in that kind of industry. Do you know what I mean? Death for him is probably less than.
It's part
so you've
of it.
got died, hot.
I had another one. I had
beheaded, divorce died.
Yeah.
What is it?
Anyway, he's gone, and I was like raging, but he's gone to be full-time doctor for people who are without homes, homeless people. And I was like, oh, for God's sake, that's so nice. I was like, I can't even be mad. I was like, you know the way I just got settled with a GP I like. You know, as you get older, you know, these things become important. You know what I mean? And then, you know, it had hurtling towards middle age here, you know. And
You're
I was
showing
like,
up to his
man.
office in raggedy clothes. He goes, Shane, I know it's you. No, it's not. It's me.
Oh, doctor.
Doctor,
I
I've been on the street for a long time. No. It's like,
Show me
the
your
guy
calves.
said the
Show
other
me
day,
your
he's like-
calves. I know it's you.
Yeah, he said, "Do you want?" It's been a while since you got your bloods done. And I was really sick, and I was like, just let me out here, please." And then he was like, "Oh well," he's like, "You can book in." And I was like, "Yeah, fine, I'll book in." What are you talking about? But what do they even look at?
Just.
I know
that
the
red.
blood is the key to everything, and it tells you.
This is
everything.
green. Something's going on. It's
If
not
that-
red.
That would be a real exciting.
That'd be very exciting. I think that
You know, your blood's blue until it comes out into the oxygen. You know, people used to always say that.
Oh yeah. Is that true?
I don't think so. I think it's just the color of your veins.
Yeah. Do you remember they said that? Your blood is blue.
When I was a teenager, I wanted to have veiny hands so much.
Really?
It was like up there with like armpit hair. I wanted
veiny. I have veiny. I'm quite veiny.
You're quite veiny.
Not right now, but you can even see it there already.
You can get your pump on this
Classic
morning.
hot guy.
Yeah.
Hot guy.
Or you see carpenters and
It's
they
scary
have
having
that
your veins
one
out
muscle
there.
that's only just from either wanking or using a saw. They have that one
Say it's from
bulging.
using a saw
Well,
or whatever. There's also that thing in your forearm. Did you ever get that as a kid?
I've been sawing a lot.
have you? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it might look. It's been the
You're
saw.
veiny because you got the saw the whole time.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of woodwork at home.
Yeah.
Anna's been away, so I've been doing a lot of woodwork at
woodworking.
home.
Don't come in.
Killian, how are you feeling? Let's check in.
Yeah,
check
let's
in
check
on your
in. We're
bros.
changing the
Check in
conversation.
on your bros.
I'm
Change the
feeling
conversation.
your
good.
dad.
We went down to Tipperary to Loch Derg on the weekend, and we went to the Clough Jordan Eco Village. They were doing a very cool, activist kind of event for Palestine. It was very, very cool.
That is very cool.
Anna's dad was singing in a
I
choir.
was getting ready to slag whatever
Yeah,
you were
I
going to say
know.
there.
It
And
was
then
Palestine.
it was like activist. I was like, It was like from Palestine. I was like, all right, fair enough. I support that. Okay.
But what was funny was we went down and we were doing that on the Saturday evening, and then Sunday morning we were going to paddle, get our kayak, we have a blow up kayak, and then paddle across to one of the lakes. Woke up, Anna was sick, and just drove straight home.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think I'm not sick, but I think because I'm an empath.
Sure.
Famously.
I am kind of identifying
just
with their
feel so
sickness.
deeply.
Yeah. So I'm not sick, but I'm.
You menstruate
walking
as well.
around-
Like
yes,
you sympathetically menstruate as well.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. And
We have that app, so we know what day to have a strap.
And actually, you're late at the moment.
I am late.
You are late.
So it's a bit
That's true.
stressful.
So it's actually like all up in the air and everything like that. But no, I'm on the back of a Dublin
One
Fringe
month,
run, and I felt it was really
Well
good fun.
done on your
And I did my first
debut.
debut.
Well done,
Well
Killian
done.
Very well.
Sundermann.
You fucking smashed it.
I smashed it. It was great. It was
Apparently
good.
I didn't go.
Yeah, it was good.
I went, Tony. I
know.
went.
Yeah, but
know.
it's cool
I'm
because
freer.
you'll see. I'll do it. Yeah.
Can I say, somebody asked me, one of the people in your audience, your show was on from 6:15. Everything starts late,
Yeah.
so 6:20, and it finished around 7:20. And my show was on at 8 down
Yeah.
across town. And I bolted out the door of your show, and then someone asked me for a picture, and I said no. I've never said no before to that, so I'm sorry to that woman. I'm so sorry about that. But I was dashing, and I was a bit. I looked dashing.
I was very
I really
dashing.
was hurtling across
I
the
was
city. I
dashing.
had to go.
No, I'm too cute for a
I was
photo.
too
I got to
handsome.
to my show, like sometimes the audience would be there before me. Isn't that mad? Like I started taking it really handy.
Oh yeah. Oh
What
yeah.
you've done, like 50 shows of this now, 40?
Like 35, something like that. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It just flies in. It
Yeah.
flies in.
long
Yeah.
deserved holiday now you have.
Oh, well, it's coming up. I cannot stop. What date is this? It doesn't matter what day. We would never tell them what day we're
Never
recording this.
ever.
Never.
But it's coming up soon, and I can't. We have. I told you before. We have jokes where you say, "What are you going to be like on holidays?" And Raina goes, "Oh, dos pina coladas, por favor." And now we've changed it. Now, so I have a new one where I'm reading a book, and I say, "Get my attention," and I'm holding the book, and then Raina goes, "Shane," and I go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just my nose is buried in the book. You know what I mean? That's it. That's
And
the
have you
kind
got a
of
good
thing.
book?
I
Yeah,
have a
some
few.
cunts guide to the
I
countryside.
have some cunts guide to the. Well, I don't know what to do
you
now.
would've finished
I'm
that
torn
already.
on the books because my a friend of mine, Oisin, wrote a book called Evenings and
very small.
Weekends, big success. So
Oh my
I
God.
have Oisin's to read. I have yours to
Oisin-
read. So three people I know have
Do
books.
I know Oisin? Is that
Oisin McKenna is his name.
Oisin McKenna? Yeah,
Evenings
I
and
really want to
Weekends.
get that book.
London based.
Fantastic writer.
So I want to read that, and I'm like, then I have some other books that I got for Christmas that I just put them in the pile. I talk like I'm a reader. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm trying to get better at it, but I will get onto it. But anyway, I don't know what to do.
I'm getting
Don't
asked to
know
do a lot of
myself with the time
interviews
off. I
and
haven't
stuff.
had time off in so
And
long.
I keep getting asked about books, and it's really embarrassing and like admitting how few books like I actually read. I'm going on to like, welcome to the book talk, the bookshelf. And here we are on the bookshelf. And Clint, what's the best book you've read this year? I'm like, well, I haven't read any books this year so far, but I did go through the Lidl pamphlet, and we got an air fryer, and it's been so good. It's just like
The book was so informative. I've actually
instructions
read a
of it.
couple of books this year, more books than I've read in the last couple of years. But you know, I want to call out something. I want to not name and shame quite, but more just call out people who they do this humble brag thing where they say, sorry guys, they post on their Instagram about a book or whatever, and they go, sorry, I'm so boring, I'm just always posting about books. God, I'm just such a voracious reader. I just can't, my appetite for literature just never ceases.
That word,
I'm never satiated.
That's too sexy a word for sitting there, voracious.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm just after walking up a mountain, and I know I'm always posting about just like getting up early and the fact that I don't drink, but I've actually just got a book out. I've got a book out. I'm really sorry about posting about that.
Yeah, voracious reader. That's one of those. I'm like, it's one of those things I should just think, just drop it. Don't bother.
Yeah.
It's like I thoroughly enjoyed. It's like, right, well, just drop the thoroughly. You enjoy.
Voracious.
It's such.
What does it mean?
I think I've talked about this before. There's kind of like there's this
yeah.
weirdly kind of like sexy adjectives or whatever that you throw onto things. You know, like voracious reader. He's a consummate professional.
Consummate professional. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
I'm a voracious phone user. I am voracious with my phone use at the moment. I told you I was using the saw.
Okay. Are you ambidextrous?
No, but I do remember learning violin as a kid. Me, my brother, my sister, and we would go in one after the other. Geschwister.
Deine Geschwister.
And then Finn was too young to be playing it.
And you would stand in height of your, in order of your height. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. When you were learning
of course,
violin.
yes, when the Nazis came to try and take the boyfriend of my older sister, but then luckily, because he was in love with my sister, he let us go free. While I was learning the fiddle as a young kid, the teacher, she said that I was ambidextrous, and therefore she thought it would be really good if I learned the piano.
Right.
But then, like, I always told this story, even like as an older person, I was like, you know, I was ambidextrous. But then I was like, but I'm not ambidextrous.
Right. Yeah.
So she must have just thought, like, he is so bad. Because if you've ever heard a kid playing violin badly, it's one of the worst noises in the world.
I have done.
So I think she just heard me playing violin really, really horribly and then was like, just fucking get him on the... And then my mum was like, well, he's going to feel really sad about his siblings because they're both still playing on the violin. She's like, I'll just tell him he's ambidextrous. He'll think he has a superpower.
Oh, that's
so
a nice
I walked
cop-out.
into school the next day, guys, I'm kind of like Superman. But unfortunately, she lied to me.
Throw this weight at my head and I'll only catch it with my left hand.
Yeah, so no, I'm not ambidextrous.
No, okay, yeah. I'm only for I can only write with one hand, but I think I'm ambidextrous with other things, you know, with like, you know, sawing or wanking or whatever.
You've been trying to make a wanking joke for a few minutes.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Killian just tossed it right back and didn't let you have it.
About
And then
a lovely story about playing the violin.
Hey, come on, cheer up!
No.
Come on. What is wrong? You can't be grumping.
I'm not
when you're
grumping.
allowed. We can hold space for grumps. That's allowed.
There
We
is
discussed
not-
this before. When people criticise Tony for being a grump, I stood up for him. I was
People
like,
don't
people
tolerate-
are allowed to be
When you
grumps.
came
Rare
for him in your
grumps.
hordes and we hit those messages from Tony, but when the hundreds of you were messaging saying, get him off the podcast, get him off the podcast,
Get him
he's
off.
grumpy.
Get him off.
Get rid of him. We
Get me
stuck
off.
by you.
Both hands. No, look, everything's fine. Look, I'm having a great time. Everything's fine. But look, how are you?
Yeah, Shane.
I'm
It was
bollocks.
your can we talk about happy birthday?
Yeah,
Pod?
thank you.
Happy birthday, Pod.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy
It's
bloody
my birthday
birthday.
yesterday.
Yes.
You know who sent me a text?
Who?
Killian.
Oh,
I can't handle this. I can't handle this today. I know it's about you. It's your birthday, but I can't handle this.
No,
Terry tried to
I
give me
remembered
criticism
it was
this
his
morning. I
birthday
couldn't
because
handle
I'm a voracious phone user and I saw Ray's post.
because I'm on Facebook. Okay. How was your birthday?
It was nice. I did nothing. Well, I went to my mum and dad's house, but like, it was.
Did they make your favorite?
What did they make? The roast beef they did. We
Oh,
usually would
lovely.
get a takeaway for the birthdays, but they changed it up and they
Roast
made a roast
beef?
beef and a bean casserole for the vegans. And it was all very pleasant. Yeah, lovely. And I
Cake?
got me a plant. Yeah, there was a cake. They sang happy
Kuchen?
birthday, which I was a bit embarrassed about. A kuchen. Yeah.
It's always so embarrassing, isn't it?
It's so embarrassing.
Which is, shut up, fuck off.
I don't
love
mind it,
every
and I
bit of
quite
it.
like doing other people's ones. Though I like doing the harmony.
Will we do a little happy birthday to make him...
Birthday. I like going.
Do you sing along with your
Yeah.
one? You feel left out because everyone's singing.
Yeah, everyone gets to sing.
Everyone gets to
And
sing and you're standing there not singing.
Yeah.
We do a happy birthday.
No, don't do
No.
happy birthday. I
I'm an
refuse.
awful man for
I
the end
decline.
anymore because it kind of has to be
You have a
about
very
me.
good sketch with that.
I do. It'll be out soon. I put it on my live show. No, I always have to be like, okay, look, someone's getting a bit of attention here for the birthday. You know, like happy birthday to you. and many more. And people turn, and that's their lasting memory of the whole birthday.
Yeah, that's what they remember.
Yeah. But I love it. I love having my face lit by candlelight. Everyone's looking at me, and you always look great in candlelight. And I'm like, there's nothing more to it, but I'm like, heart's beating in my chest, fucking loving this.
No,
like
I don't like it at all. I don't
love
like
it.
I don't think you're probably the only person I've heard who enjoys that.
Yeah,
moment.
most people despise it.
Why?
Because it's
bit
all
in-
this attention on you.
It's cringe making.
It's cringe making. And you don't know what to do with your face. What do you do with your face? Do you smile and
You
just...
have to stare at the cake.
Yes.
You have to stare at the cake.
You stare at the
I think
cake.
that's what you have to do.
You just look very sexy
Everyone's
and
cheering you
contemplative.
like the queen. Yes. Yes. It's
That is me. This is me.
You'd miss the old Facebook for the birthdays, wouldn't you?
You
Tell
would.
oh, it was good on the birthdays.
Yeah.
Then Facebook, as we started to stop using it in the same way, it became just a catalogue of whose birthday it was. That's all it really was.
Yeah. And then like for a couple of years, your wall was just a kind of a tapering out of like happy birthday messages. And then you would, now I only get happy birthday messages from, people who I've, not from, I don't remember
It was
very
good
well.
for knowing people's surnames.
I remember saying this about
yeah.
Bebo years
Yeah, it's
ago.
very good for knowing
You
people's
probably were in the
surnames.
NENRA or something. But I remember learning this about Bebo, and I was like, I know, you never,
Yeah.
we used not know.
Yeah.
Used not. I don't know if that's the correct English.
I was calling people always by their full names back in the day. Not anymore. Like now I'm just like this person.
Not
and then you know which one, and then you have to.
anymore.
But back then you'd be saying,
Is that all right?
Yeah.
not
anymore. And then if I really need it, it'd be like, for he's a jolly good fella. Like, if I'm not, if the and many more didn't go down well.
Yeah, because you
I'll
can
tack
throw
that
it,
on.
especially because you can go into jolly good fair hello. You can really go
he can
for
whip
it.
that out when he wants to,
Yeah.
can't he? That's little.
When are you going to be in a musical, Shane?
That was very
Sorry?
strong.
When are you going to be in a musical, and who would you be?
I don't know. I saw they all went to Hamilton. And people were posting. It was on recently here in Dublin City. Maybe it's still on. People were posting about that Hamilton, and they were like, "Oh my god!" Also, see, Jason Byrne had Lin-Manuel Miranda at his show in Edinburgh, and they had drinks and their pals from years ago.
Oh,
That's
no way.
amazing. Yeah, what a weird life is so strange.
Because he was in that beatbox and rap group, something Freestyle Supreme or something, Freestyle Super Supreme, and they would have done the Edinburgh Fringes as an improv.
Is that
group.
yeah? I think he probably knows him for years. But anyway, that was funny. But people were like, "Oh my god, the hype is real. I believe the hype," and I'm like, for some reason, I just don't believe it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know I'd say I'd hate it. But we went to that
I would
musical that
hate
time,
it.
and
I would
You'd hate
hated it.
Hamilton.
I just don't like
I just feel like I'm like, I
musicals.
don't
There's
think I'd
something
like that, and I'm
ugh,
like,
glee about it. I'm just like,
Oh, it's absolutely wonderful.
I like some
I adore
musicals.
it.
I want to go see Wicked.
I just
Got the films
Yeah,
coming
Wicked
out.
would be good. It's kind of spooky. I saw the Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd. I like that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
an operetta.
Sweeney Todd, and that's a bit more. There's a bit more class to that. But I don't like. Hey, Mr. Washington, what you going to do today, Mr. Washington? What you going?
They don't
to
rap
do
as shit
today?
as you. Like they're really good flow.
Have you seen Hamilton?
I've seen it. I've saw it in the West End in its first week.
Oh,
I bought tickets 2 years in advance.
Wow.
I'd even left London by the time it was
You
on.
went back over to
bloody
see
go
it.
back. I had to bloody go back and see it. Didn't even know it was coming to the Board Gosh.
Hop
What
on
did
a
Board
boat.
Gosh used to be called?
Grand Canal Theatre.
That's gone now, isn't it?
It was
That's one that
became Word
didn't-
Gosh
Shane-
very
Shane,
quickly.
Shane used to work there.
That's one that didn't linger. You could still say Lansdowne Road very comfortably. You could still say
No,
that
but it
point.
became Board Gosh.
It became
yeah,
Board.
it became
is
Board. Yeah.
officially
Oh
Board Gosh.
yes.
Three
yes.
Olympia. Speaking of which, tickets on sale. You know, guys, live.
Oh, yeah,
in
we-
the
Yes.
Olympia.
Yeah, we need to be better at that. Can we just do like a 1 minute of professionalism
In the middle.
in the middle? Yeah, out of nowhere.
Right now.
Yeah.
Go on, be professional then, bitch.
He's so cute. Look at his laugh.
There's a sleepy vibe in here today, and I'm kind of into it. I feel
It's
like
muggy.
we're hanging out. The
Tickets
weather's
are, if you're a fan of these kind of gifs and jabs that you're always hearing there, and fans about wank jokes and people doing and many more kind of jokes, you will be able to see the Young Hot Guys in January. Not for one night, but for 2 nights. 2 nights. You can buy tickets both nights, but it'd be a bit mad to be doing it like that. Anyway, tickets are still on sale. You can get them now. Where? You can get them on sale on Ticketmaster.
You turn into a sim at the end there.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to boat nights. I mean, that'd be
That
excessive.
would be insane. That would
Yeah,
be
that would
insane.
be insane. Although it will be marginally different. So you
I have
definitely
something to
should.
say about those live shows, but I'll have to wait till after.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a spoiler type of thing.
Ooh.
Remind me now when we finish them live shows in January 20th, 21st, that in Dublin's 3 Olympia.
That there's something-
I have something to say about that.
There's something to say.
Okay, great. Very exciting.
Same venue that Chappell Roan was in. So that's the level we're at.
Yes.
Chappell Roan and then the Young Hot Guys podcast.
Chappell Roan. And then how many nights a week getting? 2. So
Two.
who
We're
says-
doing twice as much
twice
as
as much
Chappell
as-
a
Roan.
better selling
doesn't work
act than
too much,
Chappell
does she?
Roan.
Yeah, she couldn't sell 2 nights, apparently. I heard that. Yeah.
They
Misery.
wouldn't give it to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, who's to say who's better? Me.
Poor
We
Chappell
are.
Roan. I'd say she's a terrible. Everyone has her driven demented. I'd say.
Mm.
I know it's fantastic to be successful, but like Jesus, she must be wrecked.
Oh,
Do you not think you'd be fucking right? And then they're like, oh, who are you going to vote for? She's like, well, I don't really want to talk about voting. And they're like, oh, gay guys, we get queer people. We need to stop. I saw someone tweeting about it today because she wouldn't get involved in who she's going to vote for. Probably unlikely to vote anyway because we'd be somewhere else. Anyway, they're picking on it.
She's
And they're
too
like,
young to vote.
queer people, we need to address who we are going to support, who gets our money. And I'm like, oh, well, you just shut up. Everyone can't be everything.
No, you can't be everything to
Everyone
everyone all
can't be.
the
I don't
time.
want everyone to be everything.
Who are you voting for, Shane?
I'm voting for Kamala if I was an American. I'd vote for Kamala.
What
and then
do you
I'd be one of those people say, look, the lesser of two evils. Oh, jeez.
Oh, very good. Yeah,
Snore.
very good.
Of course it is. Duh. Obviously, like,
No shit.
what are you, stupid?
What do you think the first? So say it's Kamala, and then Al Simon, if he's still around, goes over there on Paddy's Day. to
Double
get the
Harris
old
sandwich.
Double Harris. What do you think he's going to say? He'll be like, oh, yeah, 2 Harris's for the price of 1. Well, yeah, of course I'm
won't
a
be
white man.
there.
She's a black woman.
He's not going to make it
You won't make
because
it.
they're going to have the election in February, and we seem to talk about elections on this podcast when they happen. So
We love it.
There's a couple of elections. We had 2 sets. So there'll be elections. There's the American one coming up, and then we'll have our own one then in February. So Harris is not going to make it. And Simon Harris, the fake Taoiseach, who's not the real Taoiseach, as I've said on this before, now he can really fuck off because he's joining in saying that the asylum seekers are to blame for the lack of accommodation when it's actually him who's to blame for the lack of accommodation. So fuck you, Simon Harris.
I think what's going to happen is that he's going to go there and be like, here, we have a little bit planned. We're going to be, I wear Harris and Harris. Ooh. And then Kamala will be like, no way.
So we're going to do
it.
a TikTok. So it's
Yeah,
you
do
do Harris,
TikTok.
and then I'll do a heart shape, and you do the other heart shape with your hand.
Yeah.
And then we sing through that, Harris and Harris.
I'm not going to do that.
What if we stand back to back and then we look to the camera like we're in a sitcom and we go, Harris and Harris living with this guy. Could you do something like that?
Yeah.
Remember we talked about him they called him the TikTok Taoiseach, right? That's like a little media phrase for him. And the approval has gone up for Fine Gael since he became the Taoiseach. A bit of life, a bit of enthusiasm, I suppose. And in other countries, right, where we know that everyone's like, oh, fuck's sake. Most people are like, oh, fuck's sake, who's your man? It's Simon. Oh, we're all much more cynical about it. But other countries, like that something in the UK might write about, oh, well, here's the young Prime Minister of Southern Ireland, and he's really gaining popularity. And they think that we're all like, yay, Simon, yay.
Mm-hmm.
But our media will write things about other countries like that. We haven't actually got a clue what's going on anywhere
we
else,
don't.
really.
New York Times,
None of
you're
us
dead
know
right.
a thing about what's going on anywhere else.
I'll tell you about Trudeau's socks, but I won't tell you about his policies. Do you know what I mean? I know he's got fancy socks.
Yeah, socks.
'cause you know what I mean? He wears like fancy socks.
He wears like those socks with, Leo did some as well.
Seems like that kind of guy.
Sock kind of guy.
Yeah. Can we not talk about politics? I just don't. I'm just.
That's my favorite thing to do because I know fuck all. And I'm always like, look, I just don't talk politics. Because I have not read the journal. I have no
I think
news
we were
sources.
kind of talking about it in a
I
kind
just
of
don't
a,
talk politics.
Yeah.
guys.
in a juicy crack way. I don't think we're actually. Let's
Yeah.
not talk about policy.
I had a
I don't talk politics.
politician DM me or someone who's working on the campaign because they're all
Oh, yeah.
gearing up, and they said,
You up?
They said, hey, you up? No, they were like,
what are you doing, man?
will you endorse? Do you want to come out to Dunleary and endorse this politician? I'm like,
Oh my God.
absolutely
Was it the Green
not.
Party?
No, it was Sock Dems.
Oh yeah, I had a couple of them during the local elections as well. I was like, go do your own fucking thing.
Yeah,
Do your own.
do your own
Clever
canvassing.
call though, you know.
Sorry?
On
Do
their
your
part.
own canvassing.
Do your own canvassing.
Leave me
Stephen
out.
Donnelly, you up?
Stephen Donnelly.
Hey, this is Stephen Donnelly here. Are you up?
Just inquiring as to whether or not you're up. So you could let me know by EOD.
What is he?
Are you up?
What's his? Can you do Stephen Donnelly? That's hard.
It's Misha. It's Misha and egg. I don't know. He does a lot of. The main one is, I think, Justine Stafford's funny video about when he talked about trampolines when he was trying to equate it to risk. And Justine in the video of him interviewing himself going, trampolines, just back and forth. So that was good.
Oh, it was very good. Do you know? I felt very. I said I had my tummy issue. I found myself.
And we can talk about that.
And we can talk about
I
that.
think I want this
Make
podcast
space.
to be a space
Make
where we can
space.
talk about tummy issues.
And I very seldom feel like, there's anything I need to do to assert kind of like masculinity or anything. I'm very open and loving wife or anything like that. She accepts me.
Sexes you.
She accepts me.
She sex me, I sex her.
She accepts me. I sex her. No, she accepts me for who I am.
You just said it again.
No, because I am about to talk about sex. We had a scheduled ride, and then I had to like text her and be like, "Look, I just don't feel very sexy today. I just don't feel very sexy today." And I don't know. I just felt
You were planning it in. You calendar.
we calendar it in.
Wow.
Not always, of course. Moments do strike occasionally.
Yeah.
But I just was like,
Listen,
actually,
I've had to move my 2 o'clock to my 4 o'clock, so I'm gonna have
4
to.
o'clock.
There was a
4
confusion one of the weeks, and then Tony actually had texted me. It was really
Very confusing.
man.
He showed up to the office and he had all his gear on, and we were like, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
Tony
but then I
was
had
meant
to
do
go to
podcast.
Super Value with Terry. It was a
And
fucking mess.
Terry
It was
was
a
at Super
all
Value.
over the
I
place.
was having sex with Tony.
Killian's
and we were
picking
all
up the
over
fucking
place.
kids from the crash.
I'm
They're like,
picking
"Who
up
are
the kids
you?"
from the crash.
Call the police.
I'm your daddy's friend. I'm your daddy's friend. And they were like,
Daddy's
no,
friend.
no. Oh, God.
No, there was a clerical.
One thing after the other. I tell you, it was a nightmare. That's why you have to have, admin stuff.
To whom it may concern, I'm discussing our, booked-in arrangement for sexual intercourse. At this moment, I'm not feeling particularly sexy or horny. All the best. No worries if not.
Anthony.
Anthony Cantwell.
Yeah.
Esquire.
Esquire.
What's an esquire? Is that a lawyer? What is that?
I just thought it was like, I'm Esquire.
Like a gay Spanish man.
Yeah. A gay Spaniard.
Can you say Spaniard?
Yeah,
It's
you
gone.
can.
What do you mean you can't say Spaniard?
It's gone. You never hear people say it anymore.
Spaniard.
A Spaniard. It sounds racist now. I know it's not, but it sounds racist. He's a Spaniard. Oh, that's Spaniard over there.
They can keep
If you
calling
can
us
say
the Germans.
You can
They're
say
always calling us
anything
the
in
Germans.
any tone you want, and it sounds. You're like, oh, sure. What am I, a Frenchman? But
Yeah,
that is a
that's
Frenchman,
true.
like an
Yeah.
Irishman.
And you can't say the China one. That's a bad. That is.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you can't say the Chinese
say that
version
anymore.
of that.
It's completely. Oh, you can't say. You can't say it anymore. No, but there's very few that are like
Spaniard.
Spanish man, Italian man, or whatever. Spanish person, Italian person, and then Spaniard. Spaniard.
So
French
Brazilian.
person. Brazilian.
Really, I think of when I hear Spaniard, I think of just such a cool kind of image comes into my mind, like El Cid or some sort of or even like Don Quixote or some sort of cool kind of Spanish.
Well,
Don
Russell
Quixote is
Crowe.
not cool or whatever, but or Russell Crowe, like fighting
Gladiator.
the fighting Spaniards.
You went guttural there in the Quixote there, by the way.
Don Quixote.
Wow.
Did we talk before about that show that was kind of a little bit racist, where they used to have, maybe they're Mexican, not Spanish, but they used to have a little mouse would teach us how to count, and his name was El Nombre.
No.
El Nombre.
What's that?
I think it means number.
Yeah,
number or name.
Number
Mr.
is
Number.
name.
I didn't do
Number
Spanish
is
school.
name.
Mr. Number. El
Nombre, yeah.
Numero.
El Nombre. And he
Nombre
would
is
come
name.
down and they'd be
Mr.
like,
Number.
oh, how many are we going to get any of these apples into the cart? And they couldn't count up how many apples they need. And then El Nombre would come over. They were like little puppet mice.
Nombre is name though.
And-
Numero is number.
So Nombre, his name was Name.
His name was name.
Yeah, El Nombre.
think you meant
So he would
Mr.
come
Name.
out. Yeah, Mr. Name, I guess. And
He
he
had a
would come
very
out.
evocative
He was kind of
brain.
like Zorro.
Zorro.
Zorro
Okay.
was still big at the time.
Yeah, I think this is not true. I feel
This
like
is true. This
a
is true.
complete fabrication.
He's
on
in
your own
Spanish
mind.
culture.
They'd all be
those-
writing in. If you went to my school, you'd have to go up. There wasn't. They talk about now when they wheel in the videos. This is before they wheel in. It wasn't TV wheeling around the place at the time. We'd have to go up to the end of the top of the corridor, and then you'd sit outside classrooms in the corridor, and that's where you'd watch a video up there. And that's we watch that sometimes. And also other ones they do where they would show us like English ones of like how to write, how to do your handwriting, and they would always say like the English ones always had like L, a straight line down, and a curve or a little curl at the bottom. And our teacher every day would say, "We don't do a curl. We don't do a curl. We don't do a curl." Every single day. Why are we watching this then, you lazy bitch? Don't do some teaching. Number one.
Don't
We don't do a curl. We don't do a curl. We don't do a curl.
Don't do umlauts.
Do you know what? Sometimes
Unfortunately, the
Sorry, I
video
have to
we
keep
got
talking.
for the handwriting it's a Japanese video, so some of the elements would be different.
Yeah.
Generally, yeah. So the line there, the symbol there would be a K. We're just that's and we would use the word Taoiseach.
Yeah. So in Japanese, obviously they would have, this is the Japanese thing for electricity, and this is the Japanese for voice, and the two of those combined make phone. So that's how you write phone as electric. We would actually just write the word phone. So that's the only difference there is we
There's
actually
only
wouldn't
difference
do that. We had a Spanish student, a Spaniard, stay with us when I was a kid. And
God, I would have hated that so much. Remember
was-
having that happen in people's life around me, I would have hated it.
I remember
Constant.
touching my
in my house,
turtle,
constant,
my
all the
turtle
time,
toys.
never not.
But
Always.
my dad was like found it funny or whatever, and he was all like, oh, you got a Spanish kid? What's his name? What's his name going to be? Nacho?
Oh, Jesus.
And like, yeah, but it was applicable amount of racism for that time. He's like Nacho, and he was like, oh, spicy Nacho, whatever he was saying.
He was
right?
laughing.
I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
It's so funny, spicy nachos, right? And even though it's Mexican cuisine. But then he came to stay, and we were like, so what's your name? And he said Ignacio. It's like Ignatius or whatever.
yeah.
And I was like, Nacho. My mom was like, don't. And I was like, spicy nacho, spicy nacho.
What age were you?
Shouting at him. I don't know, like 11 or something like that.
Was he your student or your brother?
He was staying with us.
It wasn't an exchange. It's just they take you.
Just took a student for a little while. My mom still does it, take students all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might take students. And like her thing, which she doesn't anymore, but for ages and ages, we constantly have people like Canadians, Spanish, Japanese, all different types of ones. And her whole game was just trying to get them to eat as much as possible, like constant, like knocking on their door with like full roast dinners, going, "Have you had enough? You haven't eaten enough." Like just come, like barging in their door, and they're like, "Please, Mrs. Sundermann, I have had enough." God, you haven't had enough. Try meringues with cream. Just shoving them down there, going like, "Soup, stew. Look at it. It's potatoes in water."
That's what my mom's like. I guess so I got her an air fryer. I'm like, just fucking get them the frozen stuff and just fuck it in the air fryer.
She feeds them like that as well?
She feeds them like that. She picks them up from the train station, does their washing for them. Really above and beyond. And they all come away. Like, my mom is the absolute perfect, like, spokeswoman for Ireland. She's a fantastic, she put her on a 5-bob now. When we did have Ignacio, though, we had, he was from a very hot part of Spain. And we told him, it's like, we got a snowball in the freezer. And he goes, huh? And I was like, yeah, like it snowed here, and we like rolled up a ball and we put it in the freezer. And he goes, huh? And we opened it and I held it to, we gave it to him, right? And he put it in his hand and he was like, oh! He's so cold. It was like he had seen like, why? And he couldn't believe it.
Oh my God.
I'm not even exaggerating it.
That's incredible.
But snow. Oh, it's like,
Do the mums like that, or are they exhausted by it now? I watched last night, so we had the roast dinner for my birthday, and everybody was picking, and there was all the stuff, and you had to fill your plate, whatever. And my mother stood there looking around like a, what you call them little guys who pop over, Timon and Pumbaa, one of them little meerkat. Like a meerkat, watching everyone fill, and there was not a single, people were eating, and there's not a single thing on her plate yet. She was just watching, making sure everyone had nothing. Have you got to be able to get about, there's more inside, there's more there. I was like, are you not, do they like it, or are they exhausted by it? I don't know.
I have a real memory of something that's like along those lines. Like my mum was saying, they were talking about getting some students in, because you get money for it or whatever. And my dad was like, oh, maybe we should get them in or whatever. And I remember my mum saying, like, we were little, like, young kids or whatever. She's like, I can't be doing it. I have every time Killian and Niels go to the bathroom, I have to run in there and wipe the pee off the seat. I remember walking into the room and just hearing that, and just being so embarrassed, going, well, I didn't know my business was being discussed like this. Like, my mum literally, like, I'd just be, like, whistling, going into the bathroom like a little kid, just spray. Like, I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm using the toilet on my own now.
Yeah, big
boy.
boy.
Piss all over the seat, walk out. My mum has to, like, sprint in afterwards so that no student comes in and wipes the seat.
Oh, my God.
Have you no discretion, woman?
This could have been an email, man.
This could have. Don't be discussing with my dad. He has very little respect for me already.
I never saw my ma sit down. My ma was either standing up while we were eating and not eating. I've also then rarely saw my ma eat anything ever, right? She was always standing, or she'd be having a nap. She'd either be lying down completely or standing up. Never saw her sitting down my whole childhood.
Yeah, she's things to be doing.
Things to be doing. Either like
she's
now is
scrubbing to be doing.
Now's rest, or
when I'm folding an iron.
Yeah. Oh my God, she hates.
I feel
despises iron.
The mom's doing the ironing.
That's done. People
don't really do that anymore.
No.
I have a steamer at home the odd time. But it's terrible, the hours of their life that they gave into ironing those clothes.
Oh my God.
It's grand. It's grand.
And then you don't even have the fucking decency to pick it up off the fucking floor.
Yeah, you're a pig. You're an absolute pig. My mum would iron the boxers and all. And then we'd say, why'd you iron the boxers? I don't. It just takes the last little bit of damp out of them. And like, shut the fuck up. You just love it.
That was my mum's trick, was that she would, when she'd done, the uniform was still wet in the morning, she would just iron it. And it would just be like hot, watery jumper. We're all leaving the house, go, thanks, Mom. And then just like walking out into like the December
warm and
rain.
wet.
And it's just like a hot, wet jumper. You're just like walking on, nice one.
A little marsh.
Nice marshy feel to the morning.
I don't think I washed my jumper. I think we washed our jumpers like once a year or something.
Oh yeah, Christmas, that was it. Put it in at Christmas.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't have to wash the school jumper. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I hate ironing. so much. My ma absolutely despised it. I had a point I was going to make there, but then I
No,
kind
that's
of...
it. That's enough.
no.
Don't tell him what. Let him have his moment, Killian. That's enough, Tony.
No, the point I was going to make
That's
is...
enough out of you.
I'm trying to instill ideas like actual chores into the kids, but but I did.
I'm trying to say my Raymond at home. Tony. I'm trying to say.
you have him well trained.
Can't get him up off the
have him well
bloody
trained. Yeah.
one thing after that, second one.
Because
Every time he goes, I'm going to clean the toilet after every time he goes in there. No, he's very hygienic.
No, but Shane, I'm a big boy. I use the big boy toilet.
I have a little step for him to get up to the toilet.
Can we shush it up a bit? I feel like straight boys don't like their balls and they don't like their butts. They don't like their buttholes. I feel like there's a lot of butthole hate in the straight man community. I think maybe there needs to be something. Can you love it a bit more?
I
Can
think
you do what
they
they tell
might
you in school?
say that they don't like their butthole.
I think if you actually look at your own butthole, it's going to look a lot more different than you think it does. If you get a mirror, and you're like,
Take a look at it.
and you lie in your bed and look at your butthole.
It's like staring into the ISR.
And talk to your butthole.
And talk to your dad about his butthole after he's had his vasectomy.
Oh my God. Wow.
This is exactly where I want to bring the podcast every week.
Yeah.
Into butthole
We're
and bollocks
trying to
talk.
resist, but it's couched in good conversation.
I'm so
No,
sorry.
we talk about some.
So the students that came to my house were mostly actually quite a lot of Spanish people.
Yeah.
Go back to that.
Did you
keep
just call me
having-
a Spaniard?
I forget that we do this podcast every week. And the other day I was telling my friend all the things I was chatting and I was telling her about the trainer and the gym and this sort of thing. And I had quite a few sentences in a row, a few paragraphs of speech, maybe 1 minute of time total. And she was asking about, but then she was like, yeah, no, I heard all that in the pod. But I was just asking about it. I was like, oh my God, I'm actually
You've been robbed of your...
there's nothing. All my family last night had all listened to the various bits of the pod and they all were like, yeah, I heard that. I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually... And I am not catching up with anybody. Everyone's catching up with me. But this isn't the real me. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
Are people hearing the real me? This is all heavily scripted.
Yes.
Oh, incredibly.
We work with a whole writer's room each day before the podcast. That's why it takes so long because we have to come in at 6 a.m. some days and it's a grueling schedule and they write down everything we have to say.
Every single word that we've written and we have, it's Rory's Stories is on
Tony
it
gets his
and,
beautiful lips put on.
He writes most of it.
Rory's Stories writes most. He's the chief writer.
Yeah.
He's
of
head
the-
writer.
head writer at Young Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
We just normally just like everything. We take what he says, but we just get rid of. Do you ever get the way? And we just delete that from
we
the
delete
script
that, and
because
then-
that's in every line. Like, do you ever find the way? You know.
Yeah, he writes that.
Do you remember when? And we just delete that and we just do the script then afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works.
We tried to work with some other writers. Aaron Sorkin, is that his name? And it was just so.
Well, we just kept
hackneyed.
walking out of shot when we were talking to each other.
Yeah. Yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth,
It
and it was
was-
really hard to kind of get a
Kept walking.
static image.
Yeah.
Let him go.
Watched
anyway.
A Few Good Men the other night. What a fucking flick!
A Few Good Men.
Few Good Men.
Is that you
Can't handle the truth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every day you live in the comfortable bed that I created.
I don't know if
yeah.
that's along the lines of... It's good, though.
It's brilliant. He apparently did that speech every single time the same way, even when they were just getting like shots of like the reactions of like, you know, Kevin Bacon or like Tom Cruise or
'Cause he loves
Demi
acting.
Moore. And that's what he says.
Thing about me is I love acting.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Will they do the speech the same way every time?
Well, he did it with the same kind of like, you know,
Same energy and
intensity.
viv.
They're like, you're not actually on... You're not in the
Vim.
shot.
Yeah.
And he's like... Yeah. He's showing up to other scenes doing that speech.
Like we did a shot for Good, yeah. We did a shot with Good Boy that Peter McGann is doing, and he's given this kind of like rousing, like fucking vitriol kind of comedy kind of set or whatever, and he gave it absolutely fucking everything. The first thing, and he was pumping sweat, and then they were like, all right, well, like so that was the wide, like that was the, you know, like setting the scene, like, you know, like 16 foot away, right? So now we actually need to do it again.
Yeah.
He was like, oh fucking hell, you know.
I worry when we're in this laid back space that people are like, what the fuck are they doing? But people seem to keep liking this podcast and still listen to it. And I have immense gratitude to them for doing so. But like I do sometimes I'm like, God, what are we talking about? 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 What are we talking about?
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
I am having a good time too. Do you feel cheered up? Do you feel
I do actually.
yeah?
buoyed
Little smile
from
on
your
face?
boys?
I feel buoyed from my boys.
Yes.
Okay,
Aw.
I do. Although, by the way, a stolen boy is a stolen life.
A stolen boy is a stolen
I
boy.
just want to get that out there, just
Yeah.
to, you know,
No, that's true.
because I used to nick loads of stuff. You know, you
Ring-
go to
not a
Never
ring boy.
thieve.
never a boy. No, that was
Never a
the,
boy.
you know, you go to a pub or whatever, and you're like 18 or whatever, and be like, look at this big heavy bust of something, you know.
Oh, when you're bold, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't personally, but I would be
I
in groups
stole
that would.
this is so stupid, but I was just locked on Grafton Street and I stole the carpet outside McDonald's. You know, the sort of shite. We rolled it up, put it on our shoulders, and then got into the taxi and it sat with it across our legs in the boot. And we just laughed all the way back to Dunleary.
Wow.
And then we just put it on some roundabout and it was just there. And someone probably had to clean it up.
Yeah.
But you know.
That's gas.
We were young people are bold.
That's gas.
We
Stick it
one
to them.
time put a fire extinguisher in a glass cabinet and the glass cabinet the key, and we locked it in there and put the key on top of the rafter beam. And then we went there months later and it was still there. So we took the key off. I know, very bold. We took the fire extinguisher. We took the key off the top of the beam, unlocked it, and put it back out. So they must have been in the pub going, "How's that back out? Who did that?" You know what I mean?
Well, you're glad that there wasn't a fucking fire.
Well, if there was a fire, you could just smash the glass cabinet. It wasn't like a special glass cabinet that is smashable, like a fire safety one.
I don't know.
Anyway, shut the fuck up. You just talked about doing bold things, and I said one bold thing, and we did. And also, we restored it to its.
The worst thing was that a few people in McDonald's had dirty feet. Like
shut up! We were 18. No, you're littered as well.
No,
you stole and littered. We were 18.
That McDonald's thing, though, that's awful.
That's awful.
That McDonald's thing,
was
though,
it not a bit legendary?
That's unreal, man.
Yeah,
that's legendary.
I have to sit here and take this.
I was fierce for stealing, like, you know, the six rolled up and bound like newspapers outside, like, you know, your news stop after you had left Burger King at like 2 a.m. You know, getting like 9 GQs or whatever. You know, be like,
yeah,
no one's getting GQ in the morning.
My brother got done in stealing the milk. Isn't that so funny?
Oh my god,
they weren't
that's
even
so
stealing
bold.
it. They just were like drunk and they just opened up one of them and were drinking it, and then the guards got them. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Oh, for fuck's sake, lads, just wake the fuck up. That kind of thing. Like, definitely not going to bring them in anywhere. Just wake the fuck up. What do you fucking think what you're doing?
I miss walking around town that late at night and just feeling like this is my playpen. This is not real. This is all a dream. I'm half cut. This is all just a bit of a laugh. I was in town like a couple of Fridays ago. I was terrified. It was very loud, very busy. A lot of people out drinking. It was a lovely day. And I was like, this is very fucking intense. You know, this used to be my fucking town. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
it's gone sad now. You're too old.
You're too old.
The town has changed. It's not as good. I mean, it's not as good.
There's no culture anymore. There's no culture.
Or are we old? Just think about that. But no, actually, like statistically, there's very few nightclubs left in this country.
I saw Rihanna say, she was asked pub or club, and Rihanna said pub. She said, I haven't liked the club since my mid-20s. And I was like, Slay Queen, you know.
That's good.
So if we're on track to be like Rihanna, I think that's probably okay.
First step is go to the pub more.
Is she
if you want to have a Fendi brand.
Is she telling the DJ to turn the music up in the pub, though? Because I wouldn't be into that.
Well, upon the replay, though.
But please don't stop the music as well.
And don't open your umbrella inside the pub as well. I don't know.
Is that the message of that song?
No, you can stand it on my umbrella, though, if you mind.
Yeah.
First time I heard that song was in a club called Karma. Doesn't exist anymore, but the place is still there. Now, what's in there? What's going on in there? Fishamble Street used to be a club there. Yeah. Anyway, we really should. We really should go. This started becoming very introspective, and
I started thinking about myself. And
I started thinking of myself there. No, we shouldn't have it. No, we must always remain on the side of irony. And I apologise to everyone for a genuine moment there.
That's sorry
that happened. That was
very apologise.
The writers didn't write that one.
That was Rory wrote that one, and we will talk to him. He's fired. He's fired from now on.
Sorry about that, Rory.
Sorry, Rory, but you're gone.
There's no other way you get fired. Do you ever get fired? Anyway. Listen, thank you so much from the bottom of our cree for all of you for listening. And remember, get outside.
The growl we have for you is
put the phone down. Get outside. Get down to an activist weekend in Tipperary or whatever.
Call your dad.
Get the phone on and open it up and go to HeadStuff Plus and subscribe to HeadStuff Plus and don't go outside.
Yeah, but
stay indoors in a dark room.
Once you subscribe to HeadStuff Plus and click Young Hot Guys on the way, once you do that, then go outside and just be. You know what I mean?
Come back inside and listen to an episode and get addicted and create a sort of parasocial relationship with us where you really like us and it's really great.
Yeah.
And we do like...
Are you alright?
I just was a bit honest.
What do you want?
I don't know.
What do you want?
I want people to like the podcast.
Us too.
I think they do.
And look, thank you very much for listening. And you can see us again, as I said, in the 3 Olympia. Big stage, big performance. A lot of big things planned. As you can tell, we've written the whole thing and we know exactly what it's going to be.
Every
and
word.
It's going to be the 20th and the 21st of January. We'll see
Let them go. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye.
They're attractive.
Very attractive.
hot and loud?
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy. It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
Killian Sundermann!